Ladies and gentlemen, humanity is about to enter a proverbial wormhole and take its largest ever leap in the quest to discover the secrets of the universe and the search for alien life. After an almost 15-year delay, the James Webb Space Telescope is all set to become the Earth's most powerful ever space-based observatory. And what this means is that we are going to have an eye in the sky that is going to help us see what's out there to a greater degree than ever before, and also that we are going to be able to look back through time to the first light and get closer to the Big Bang that happened almost 13.8 billion light years ago than ever before. The reason for this extraordinary capability is because NASA, the European Space Agency, that is ESA, and the Canadian Space Agency did not skimp with their plans and ambitions for this mission. To put this into perspective, the James Webb Space Telescope is planned to succeed the iconic Hubble Space Telescope. But just as Hubble was thought to be powerful beyond measure at the time in which it was launched in 1990, James Webb changes the game completely. For one, while both are reflective telescopes, that is, they have concave mirrors that focus the light from the heavens into their instruments, whereas Hubble's mirror has a diameter of 2.4 meters, slightly more than the height of a really tall human being, the James Webb Space Telescope's mirror is an enormous 6.5 meters in diameter. Further, while Hubble is positioned in a low Earth orbit about 550 kilometers from the Earth's surface, James Webb is going to be a lot further away at what is called the Sun-Earth L2 Lagrange point. This point of gravitational stability is almost 4 times further away from the Earth than the Moon is. The biggest difference between Hubble and the James Webb Space Telescope, however, is the spectrum of light in which they operate. Hubble operates in a visible light and ultraviolet light spectrum. James Webb, on the other hand, will operate in the infrared spectrum. Infrared light is better at penetrating cosmic dust and gas, and so is likely to reveal light from sources that would normally get blocked. Furthermore, because of a phenomenon called redshift, the JWST is in a position to peer deeper into time and see the light from extremely far away. On an operational level, the range of instruments and capabilities on board will let James Webb Space Telescope also zero in on the planets orbiting around distant stars. This is a field in which a lot of progress has been made in just the last few years, with hundreds of exoplanets, that is, planets outside of the solar system, being discovered. With James Webb, however, we will also be able to learn a lot more qualitatively about these exoplanets, such as their composition and about their atmospheres, if any. Accordingly, the telescope will be able to tell us if the circumstances on those otherworldly bodies are suitable for life as we know it. Like most things rocket science, the James Webb Space Telescope is a tremendous feat in science and engineering. For instance, its enormous mirror is actually made up of 18 smaller hexagonal mirrors that are made of beryllium coated with gold. It also has a heat shield that defies belief. This structure, which sits as a diamond-shaped platform on which the mirror is set, comprises 5 layers that are each as thick as a single human hair. However, they are to form a shield the size of a tennis court and keep the mirror and the instruments at a breezy temperature of around 50 Kelvin. That's only minus 223 degrees Celsius. Now, one may wonder, how does one get such a large telescope into the skies? The answer is a big rocket, the Ariane 5. But even this behemoth doesn't have the kind of space needed for such an unfavorably shaped payload. That's why the entire telescope is designed to be collapsible and foldable. It will be launched packed into the Ariane 5, and once it is released into space and en route to its orbital location, it will begin to carefully and painstakingly perform a choreographed transformation. The complexity associated with the unfolding was one of the primary reasons for the schedule and cost overruns. What was supposed to be launched in 2007 is launching in 2021, and whereas the initial cost was expected to be $500 million, by now that has ballooned to $9.8 billion. However, while there will be a lot of nervous watchers before it gets into its final position, the effort is likely to be more than worth it, even keeping in mind that the JWST is far more inflexible in terms of its service life than the Hubble. Hubble, for instance, has been serviced in space 5 times and is likely to outlast its successor, the James Webb Space Telescope. The JWST, on the other hand, is so far away that any ideas of reaching it physically post-launch would be hugely ambitious. And also, it has a fixed lifetime of up to 10 years, which is unlikely to extend far beyond that, like some of our other explorers in space. From the time the James Webb Space Telescope launches from the Guyana Space Center in French Guyana to the time that it reaches the Lagrange point, that it will call its home, a lot of people are likely to look up with beady eyes and crossed fingers. There's a large group of scientists who would like to point the James Webb to various parts of the cosmos and explore the secrets writ large in the stars. But what will James Webb reveal? Will we find more moons around our own solar system's planets, or will we discover entirely new worlds orbiting stars we have no hope of reaching given current technology but could sustain carbon-based life? The answers will likely be made known fairly soon once operations begin, and then we may come to know and answer that age-old question: are we alone?